Imagine, if you will, a world where Ridley Scott didn't hate the Predator and AVP movies. It would look something like this instead of this. Hello and welcome back to another game breakdown. Today I'll be taking a look at the best Alien vs. Predator franchise entry ever, AVP. A 2010 first-person action, kind of horror but not really horror game, but we'll get into that here in a bit. Developed by Rebellion and published by Sega. Released on Xbox 360, PS3, and Windows on PC. I don't think it was released for Mac, and still available on Steam. AVP is a full reboot of the first two AVP games made in '94 and '99. I believe they're mostly made by the same team. However, this game does not cancel out the canonization of the PS2 AVP RTS, which came out in like 2002 or something. Now for this video, I played through the 360 version on my 360. I know it's backwards compatible on Series X, which is awesome. I do not know if it's backwards compatible on the PS5, but I mainly did that because I don't like playing games on a more powerful system when the game when that just kind of messes with the game. Now, after watching somebody else stream the game on a Series X, I don't think I would have had any trouble, and Jeff played it on the Series X, and he didn't have any trouble. But yeah, I had trouble on some other games where freaking physics went crazy. Honestly, I just prefer to play a game on the system it was designed for. Now, that being said, I'd rather play Spring Commander on the computer I have right here in front of me than the freaking 2006 computers we had back then. Now, the developer, Rebellion, is a British video game developer that is still in business and making games today. From what I've seen on Wikipedia, they've made quite a few games over the last 30 years. AVP was published by Sega, the failed console maker, better known for the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. Not Sonic the Drive-In, completely unrelated, and still awesome. They're also still in business, but a subsidiary of Sega Sammy Holding. I don't quite understand all the business ways and all that kind of stuff works, but it is worth mentioning that Sega did not publish the original two games, but they did publish Aliens Colonial Marines and Alien Isolation, which is like a way better game than both of those. AVP has 3 campaigns, just like Warzone 2100, but unlike Warzone 2100, these 3 campaigns follow 3 different characters and 3 different play styles. A Marine called Rookie, or as I like to call him, the Black Doom guy. An Alien, I will not call them Xenomorphs. Okay, honestly, I'll probably go back and forth, depending on how I feel. I know it's their name, but look, Alien is just quicker and easier to say. Now, the Alien is known as Six. In the Predator campaign, you just play some youngblood who's just barely above, look, I don't know all the different rankings of that stuff, okay? He's a freaking Predator who goes out and isn't just new. He's not a fucking new guy, but he's not an experienced guy either. Now, all 3 storylines run somewhat parallel to each other. I'm pretty sure the Alien campaign starts first. The Predator and Marine campaigns start about the same time, but the Predator campaign happens just ahead of the Marine campaign, up until the last mission. The last mission of the Predator campaign, at least the last bit of it, takes place just after the Marine campaign. But we'll get into more of that later. Now, I'm going to go over these in the order that they happened, which is not the order I played them in. The game's main menu led me to believe I had to play the Marine, Predator, Alien story in that order. But the end of the campaign menu on the Marine side suggested otherwise. It's like, oh yeah, you should play the Alien campaign next. But I honestly should have played that first. And you can play it in whatever order you want. In fact, you can split missions, play one mission, then a different campaign's mission, then a different campaign's mission. But the way this game is set up, it kind of messes with your mind. As a Marine, you get used to playing as a, classic, awesome action hero with some horror elements kind of here and there. The Alien is more of a stealth campaign character, and the Predator is kind of a combination of both, but it's much more stealth heavy, and when you're playing as a Predator, the AI for the Marines is way overpowered, but we'll get into that here in a bit. Before I start, AVP, I believe, is canon in the AVP and Predator franchise universe, but not in the Alien universe. In fact, everything AVP or Predator-wise is completely separate from the Alien universe because Ridley Scott hates AVP. In fact, I believe he hates this game almost as much as the movie. Explain a little bit of that towards the end of when we get to the end of everything, and you'll see why. In fact, you probably already watched that ad for, oh crap, no. Now moving on. Now the Alien campaign opens up with a cutscene of a classic Weyland-Yutani finally getting to experiment with chest bursters.
Please!
but it's shown as Alien Romulus. They were doing that shit way before anyways, which I heard that movie was pretty solid, so I'm gonna go see that next week. Now, after the cutscene, we are led into the game's tutorial. My favorite kind of tutorial. Here we learn that we have 3 attacks. Heavy, light, and tail. But the tail is part of the heavy attack. You'll mainly ever really use the light attack, the light claw attack, and a heavy tail attack. Because honestly, the heavy attack takes way too long to charge up, especially as a predator. As an alien, it's not as bad. Once you get through the tutorial, we attempt a failed escape as 6, and end up getting locked up. Until some sort of shockwave caused by, I'm still not sure, disables our restraints, and we are able to escape. Yeah, that shockwave was caused by them opening a pyramid, but I'm not really sure why it sent out a shockwave to begin. Now, one of the first things you also notice is the alien HUD is way different from the other two. First off, your health bar is solid instead of sectional. Thinking about it now, I'm not sure the health bar was even really necessary for the alien HUD. Your health just regenerates, kind of like in Call of Duty, and you carry no disposable items. I honestly think the Alien campaign was made last, and they just didn't feel like making a new HUD or UI interface, and they just made it that way. Which, you know, I kind of like having a health bar with regenerating health. It's a lot easier to keep track of instead of, oh, your screen fills up with blood, and then it's kind of inconsistent on when you die. You may not have any disposable items, but you do have the focus ability, which allows you to focus and make jumps or see vents covered up by grass, both of which gave me trouble. That fucking air vent killed me like 8 times. The first mission is, fairly simple. You need to break the queen's restraints so she can escape, and if we're smart enough, escape ourselves. As we make our way through... Oh, wait, you don't actually mess with... You mess with the computer system that frees her something. When the mission objectives are communicated to you via screeching that you don't hear but you have to read, I didn't pay as much attention, okay? As we make our way through the missions, they did a pretty good job of making you feel like an alien outside of having to press a button every time you want to go from like the floor to the wall when you're climbing on it. Like, you can either jump or go up to it and hit a button and you're there, and it's just kind of nauseating. And also, they made the Marine AI way too stupid in the Alien campaign. I don't know why, but several times I was right in front of them and like slightly dark, in the slight darkness, and they're like, is somebody there? It was really dumb. I guess they did that mainly to make it easier, or they just forgot to mess with it. The next few missions are, fairly simple. You escape to the open part of the colony and make your way to the pyramid. Now, on your way, you get to fight Marines, androids, all on your own. Because for some reason, once you break out of that initial mission in a colony full of random xenomorphs and aliens, you're the only one wandering around breaking things. Now, I don't know if it's because you're supposed to be the smart one who directly communicates with the matriarch, or what. Never really added up to me. I mean, a couple times you see 1 or 2 other xenomorphs showing you how you die in the vent, and there's got to be somebody running around dropping face huggers as you like hold people down to get infected, which you can only do with unarmed civilians. I don't think you can do it with Marines. I think Marines you can mainly just glory kill. You know what, I don't know what to call it. I'm just gonna call it finish off or glory kill. Those are very brutal, and there's like 6 different ones. I'm sure I didn't get them all, but I'm sure there's a lot more. Am I allowed to put these up here?
It's right here.
Ah, fuck it, I'm not monetized. I only got the glory kills with the humans and the androids, which, by the way, the android AI is slightly better. It's still dumb, but they have thermal vision so they can see you or whatever. Yeah, I never got a glory kill on the Predator, just the end credit scene where you, like, get a facehugger on one and make it Predalien, which there's, I think, 3 of in the game. 3 or 4, I'm not really sure. It feels like they pop up, out of nowhere. Why would you open the door? Just wait for me to die. There's no way out of this building. That was so stupid. Why would the Marines trap the alien in there and then not just wait? I mean, there's no way out. It's just, oh, the lights went out. I'm just going to go in there and see what's happening. Oh, no, I died. Yeah, we were real surprised about that. I suppose I should mention you're supposed to play this as a stealth character. However, the only AI where it really matters is the overpowered androids and the one time you fight a Predator. Actually, you're not supposed to do stealth as fighting the Predator. That's the only other time you see other xenomorphs helping you outside of that breaking out of the facility. They're freaking running around the pyramid getting blown up so you can like sneak up and stab the Predator. Oh yeah, I'm not good at stealth games. The final mission is where you finally get an objective other than go here, break this, kill these people, do this. You start out triggering the pyramid's challenge mode to draw in a Predator. Basically, it's these like little pads you go to and press down while sneaking around. I actually thought that was kind of cool. It's here after rarely seeing another alien. Several of your fellow aliens and xenomorphs pop out of nowhere and assist you in taking down the 3 predators. That's right, you face 3 predators who must be just retarded. And then you face a 4th predator who's like in that position where he's like, okay, I just need to accomplish this and I'll be a rank 3 or whatever. I don't know how their rankings work. And this is where all your skills at jumping, crawling, and oh wait, you never got the ability to spit acid. Yeah, that kind of pissed me off. You fight acid spitters as the Marine and the Predator, but you never get to do that yourself. From what I can tell in the lore of these Predators are young bloods here to prove their worth. They were pretty easy to take down. At least I thought I could grab them. As far as like moveset, oh yeah, I forgot. You have a block. Well, I can't remember if the aliens can block or not. I know they can grab stuff. I know the Predators can block. Now you have to whittle down each one's health until you finally get in to get a finishing kill. It doesn't have to be a finishing kill, which I never got. Which I'm sure would have been cool. I know the 10 times I tried, they just took me off and threw me away. I just clawed and heavy-tailed them until they were dead. Once they're down, the elite predator shows up to wipe out the aliens, since they've become too powerful, and oh no, we can't just neutron bomb them or something. That'd be too easy. To be honest, I think this predator is being tested himself to become one of those, super predators or wolf predators or whatever. You know, the kind that go around taking out Predalien outbreaks like what we saw in the AVP Requiem movie, which is somehow worse than the first one. People hate the first one, but the second one's worse. I don't mind the first one. It at least tried. This is a classic boss fight with an enemy boss health bar. This is actually the easiest boss fight of the 5 different boss fights you fight. You have to dodge the plasma fire, which is pretty simple. I'll be honest with you, that's like really easy because you've got 70 more xenomorphs to just be taken out at. Once he's down, it cuts to a cutscene showing a facehugger implanting an egg and setting up the second hardest boss of the game for the Predator. The campaign ends with the alien queen dying thanks to the Marine and sending out a debilitating telepathic blast, knocking out 6. This actually clears up a question I had while playing the Marine campaign, because in the Marine campaign, you kill the matriarch, then at the same time there are like 30 aliens around you trying to attack you, and it's like, wait a minute, why didn't they attack me while she was blowing up? It's like, oh, because they're all disabled because the queen died. I see. Moments later, the Carl Wayland android, yeah, big spoiler, and some other androids show up and capture 6. It's like, oh yes, we're old friends, we've seen this one before. Next thing you know, a whole ship is under alien control and 6 morphs into a queen. He transmorphs into or he molts. I think that's the proper. He molts into a queen, which I thought was kind of neat. Kind of setting up. I'm not about to speak about xenomorph biology because I have no idea how that fucking works, but I think 6 just became a Zerg queen. At least that's what it looks like to me. Truthfully, I think this ship is getting vaporized by the first military ship it comes across. Remember that ship is there. Now, no, stop that! Damn it, I lost my spot. Next, we have the Predator campaign, and the last one I played. This was the hardest campaign of the 3, at least until I got the staff, the combi stick, or whatever the hell it was called. It starts out the same way as the Marine campaign. Carl Wayland, the android, is opening an entrance to an ancient Predator pyramid facility that's long been abandoned, and triggers a shock wave that acts as an EMP, but not really an EMP, but I have honestly no idea, and it's never really explained. For no one knows why. They never explain it, but it does alert the Predator forces to the Weyland-Yutani meddling, which I thought was kind of interesting. The Predators also kind of act like this is a lost pyramid because of the technology found, but that could also have something to do with the various clans there are of Predators, which I'm not going to get into. Now, once the cutscene concludes, we cut to the game's second proper tutorial, showing you how to fight as a Predator. I really appreciate these kind of tutorials. You know, there's not a lot of games where the tutorial isn't just a straight up, press A to do this. Press X to do this. Use the left thumbstick to do this. There's not a lot of tutorials that take the time to weave in lore and story gameplay into the game to teach you how to play the game. There's just not a lot. One immersion-breaking one that always comes to mind is the Knights of the Old Republic tutorial. Well, it's not really a tutorial, but it's a in-game explanation. Basically, if you ask enough questions or are persistent enough, Trash Logo Guy will be like, oh yeah, press A to do this. Go into your menu and equip this weapon by hitting... It's really weird.
Use the right thumbstick to control the camera and the left thumbstick to move towards your footlocker. Press the A button to open your locker once it is targeted, or you can pull the left and right triggers to cycle between targets until the footlocker is highlighted. Then press the A button to open it.
Character is a youngblood in his final bits of training. I assume. I honestly don't have no idea. Now you learn to swing a blade, use a Predator stim pack, and jump around and shoot things with a plasma gun. Then you fight aliens casually just unleash at you, because why the fuck not? If you think it's kind of strange they just casually let unleash them and just have them laying around in cages somewhere. I honestly got nothing to say. I think the Predator somehow mastered controlling the Xenos. No, it's never really explained. Fuck, AVP never explains jack any of that. It's never really explained. My best guess is they finally, after generations of fighting them, overcame them in their quest for a perfect hunting enemy. It kind of reminds me of those one reptilian species from Voyager who somehow capture Voyager, and then they give him holographic technology after like 3 episodes of fighting him. And they're like, we can use this to train ourselves because we're bored. Once you've gone through the tutorial and proven yourself as a capable warrior, the first mission will start. Once the United States Colonial Marine ship has been destroyed, we're sent down to find out what killed our fellow Youngbloods and destroy his remnants, and mainly his equipment, because we can't let this shit fall into the hands of the humans. It's filthy humans. I think it's mainly done out of honor, too. Predator race is a very honorable race. In fact, the only reason they destroyed the Marlow was due to their trespassing of sacred ground. Or because they just felt like it. I honestly have no idea. Why they didn't detect the Weyland-Yutani ship, you know, the 2 chilling out just outside the system or around the planet somewhere? Fuck, I don't know. Who knows? This is mainly a stealth-focused game. I do appreciate how this game reuses a lot of stock audio assets throughout the game, and does a decent enough job of hiding it. Also, same thing with the graphics and color. You'll notice this more in the Marine gameplay, but if you'll notice, they use kind of what looks like a cheaper graphics and animations, but at the same time, they used color and lighting to kind of cover up the cheapness of it. So instead of Borderlands, where you can clearly see this is not very super defined or anything, it's more like this game, where it's cheap, but it's colored and lit in a certain way to make it not look so bad, which I really appreciate. This is mainly a stealth-focused campaign, even though it's really supposed to be a combination of stealth and combat, but it's set up more stealth, and the AI makes it really hard to just straight up engage the enemy. I do love the fact you can turn yourself invisible. Until you step in water and get attacked or use a weapon. It's really fun jumping around and hiding in trees and on buildings. That was really cool. AVP does such a good job making you feel like the character you're playing as. It's what Alien Colonial Marines and, I don't know, Alien Fireteam Elite was okay, except it did seem weird that the aliens would just run at you. But it's just such a good job of making you feel like the character you play as. You know, as the Predator, you got the plasma gun, and you're like, alright, I'm gonna jump around and use my lasers and shit to fight them off. It's really fun. At least until you realize the enemy AI has a very easy time seeing you, no matter what the daylight conditions are, even if you're invisible. If you so much as sneeze or slightly tilt your head, they will see you. Like, they will see you. And it is very irritating, especially if they're on alert. There were several times I got spotted by both Marines and aliens. Well, the aliens have a much easier time seeing you because I guess they use smell. Fuck, I don't know. They don't have eyes, do they? This made this the most challenging campaign of the game. As the Marine, you go around shooting stuff. As the alien, you sneak around a lot easier, stabbing things. Predator, no. It's way harder. You gotta combine it, but in somewhat a hard way. You know what? I watched someone play this on hard, and they had an easier time sneaking up behind people and stabbing them than I did. There were several times I got spotted sneaking up behind them, and they're like, oh my god, there he is! You know, I never tried sneaking behind an alien. It's hard when you sneak up behind them, and they turn around randomly. It's like, okay, I'm gonna get them. Oh shit, they turn around. Somehow they missed 250 pounds of a Predator jumping 50 feet high right and behind them, but their motion sensor picks up me sneaking up behind them at like the slowest pace possible. In the Alien campaign, they could barely find each other, but in this campaign, they turn into the Lawrence Fishburne from Predators, or the one guy from Predator. You know, the guy who, like, sacrificed. You didn't see him die, but he sacrificed himself to stall a Predator. That's who they turn into. But in the fucking Alien campaign, they turn into Helen Keller. It's just, it's irritating. But you know what? It's fine. It did not cheapen the effect of the game. All in all, when you do manage to use the stealth mechanics properly, it's satisfying, mainly because of the very gory glory kills. Following the theme of the Alien campaign are very hardcore, and in a few cases, you take a head to use in the retinal scanners. I do think it's kind of neat they put in the, oh yeah, let me just take this as a trophy. I, of course, didn't get all the possible glory kills for both sides. Most of the missions come down to you going around, destroying fallen predators and their equipment, until you get to the last body held in a laboratory, like some random outpost building. Then this is also the only mission you get access to trip mines, that I never used. I honestly have no idea why these were in this one mission. Did I say most of these missions were seek and destroy? No, I meant that just the first mission and the next mission. One of the missions, an elite predator has fallen and we must destroy his body and equipment. Once you stealth your way into the refinery, Once you stealth your way into the refinery and find his body, you recover the smart disk. I did not care for the smart disk until I realized I can hold down the button and select a specific target. Then it became a little bit easier for me to use. It's supposed to be a smart boomerang you can lead around with your laser targeter, but I never got that to work, and I could barely use it to begin with. I got stuck in the damn refinery because I didn't know I had to take out a pipe. In the process of this mission, you also destroy the refinery for punishment to the humans. And, as I said, almost get trapped inside the burning facility. Yeah, that was my bad. In the next mission, you make your way through some caves to an old Predator temple. You witness the holographic recordings of the first ceremony following a Predator's successful takedown of an alien. All while your boss is sitting there yelling at you to hurry up. He's like, hurry up! Hurry, why aren't you moving? Move! Come on! Hurry up! Stop watching this cool hologram! In the temple, you find the lost ability to see the aliens using an ancient mask worn by the Predator buried there. This was very helpful, and one of the two main items that the Predators were also after on this planet. Look, okay, all the information was delivered via red subtitles that blend into the background, just like your health bar. Your health bar is red, and it's down in that corner, and it's kind of hard. It doesn't really stick out, honestly, and it's kind of irritating. I did manage on medium. The energy was a little easier to see since it was white and stood out a little more, but you get what I'm saying, though. Now, moving on. Once you recover the mask, make your way through the ruins, unlock a door with your blades, which I thought was kind of cool, and fight a Predalien and friends. Once you beat that motherfucker, you recover the combi disc, which is it's very powerful, it's very helpful, and it's my favorite weapon of the game, outside of the sniper rifle. It's said that the stick comes back and regenerates, so you don't have to constantly retrieve it, but I don't know how that works. What am I, a scientist? Should also mention that was also one of the boss fights. It wasn't that bad. It was definitely made you feel like you were a Predator fighting those things. Although the combi stick would have been nice. And it was nice having the mask where you can see shit. The next two missions are pretty straightforward. You witness war crimes, infiltrate the large structure, make your way to the pyramid so you can blow it up and keep secrets out from humans. It's definitely different fighting the androids. They're not as fooled by your stealth generator as the humans were. Mainly since they have thermal vision. God, that was so irritating fighting the whole room of them at the end that just popped up out of the elevator. But that combi stick comes in freaking handy. It just one-shots them as they explode. Man, it makes things easier. Especially since you have to recharge the plasma gun by sucking power out of the batteries and generators. It takes way too long to lock on with them and charge up. Part before you go down the elevator where the Queen was being held was tough, especially when the androids have shotguns. God, I will get to that in the Marine campaign. That's where, I died 6 times fighting Carl. Again, in the Marine campaign. Oh yeah, I should also mention, it is kind of handy that the androids will self-detonate once you kill them, and it sends out a little EM pulse that staggers them, and that's actually really handy. It's a good way to get them to, not attack you while you try to jump away. Or as a Marine, just blast them. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention, the Predator has a heavy and light attack, but as I said before, the heavy attack takes way too long to charge up. So I mainly use the light attack.
Welcome. This feels almost like a reunion. We've been studying your species for a very long time, my predecessors and I. You see, you're part of our family history. There are secrets hidden inside that pyramid of yours, secrets we must possess, about your species, about the origins of those creatures you want. I know we'll unlock them all in time, but it would be so much easier if we captured one of you to assist us. Take this thing alive. I want its organs functioning when it gets to the operating table.
Engaging environmental countermeasures.
It would seem that we continue to underestimate you. Not allow it to access the
Once you reach the tomb, it cuts to a cutscene of your character getting the wrist device of an entombed Predator. Oh yeah, you recover this wrist device from the Weyland-Yutani lab, where they almost capture you, but you somehow manage to escape. It's one of the reused maps from the Alien campaign, which that is something I will talk about here soon. Using this wrist device, you plant it on the tomb of the pyramid and detonate, I assume, some kind of thermonuclear device that destroys the pyramid wipes out all the evidence, kills all the aliens and Predaliens, except 6 who you saw escape. Somehow the information you downloaded off it before you left reveals the alien homeworld. But before we can walk out of here, the fucking Predalien comes out of nowhere and attacks us. Maybe that was just no, this was definitely a Predalien. It fucking pops out of nowhere as we're calmly walking out of here and attacks us. Knocks us down to the bottom of the pyramid where we have Predator power generators, which was very handy. This is also the most I used the plasma gun. After a short tussle, gameplay resumes as the final boss fight. After jumping around to avoid sinking rubble and outrunning the Predalien who can one-shot you or knock you into the lava, you can get the alien's health down enough. It'll start jump pounding like up in this area to try and get the pyramid to collapse faster. It looks like a little child throwing a tantrum. It's hilarious. When it's far away is the best time to shoot it with a plasma gun, if you can hit it. Once you defeat the Predalien, it cuts to another cutscene, the final cutscene of the game, the campaign at least, where we escape the pyramid, the facility explodes, you see yourself flying away from a different angle as the human ship did, and the final shots shows us what I believe to be the location of the Xenomorph homeworld, which I'll be honest, doesn't make that much sense, because in the AVP Predator franchise, it's never explained who made the Xenomorphs. This was mainly just to set up sequel bait. Man, a sequel for this game would have been pretty cool. I'm not sure if it's lost knowledge or just something they never knew, but it's never really said if the Predators came across the Xenomorphs or if they found the homeworld and used them from there. What we do know is the Predators use them for training since they're the ultimate challenge, and they're the perfect species, which never made sense to me at all. Honestly, it sounds like Alien Romulus sheds a little light to that to make it less retarded. What this game brings to light is the idea that the Predator civilization was somewhat collapsed by the Xenomorphs, at least until they finally managed to defeat the first queen, which that Predator who did that was buried with the queen in the pyramid we just exploded, which you also get to see via the holograms, which I thought were really cool, even though your boss is sitting there screaming at you to hurry up in their language. Also possible the civilization just collapsed through civil war and stagnation, and not every faction had the same technology to see the Xenomorphs or use this or use that, classic stuff. I'm sure some people, no, not again. It could have been a classic collapse of society due to stagnation. Could have been a civil war that caused collapse. Could have been the introduction of the Xenomorphs, because we have seen with that Whaling ship, we can see how they spread really easily. And as shown in the AVP Requiem movie, which I know everybody hates, but this does do a good job of showcasing how the Predator side of things kind of works. Alright, first campaign I played as the Marine. It's kind of interesting, is the Colonial Marine, thanks to Aliens Colonial Marines, which is canon. They're called the United States Colonial Marines. They're a division of the United States military, which I thought was kind of cool. This opens up with Carl Whalen opening the tomb, just like in the Predator campaign. And it sends out the shockwave, and next thing you know, you're aboard a gunship transport. Pelican, what it was designed off of. I forgot what they're called. I forgot what the gunships are called. I'm just going to call them gunships. Aboard, we get a little back and forth between us and some of the other Marines, and Tequila, who's a complete badass. We find out our character's name is Rookie, and we are a silent character. I'm not really sure why. Honestly, he's probably just scared to death. I'm not really sure if they stole that idea from Halo 3 ODST, but since this game came out, well, it came out after it, but I think it was made around the same time or right before. You know what? Half of Halo stuff's based off Aliens, so as we're chilling in the dropship, we see the Marlow get blown up by the Predator ship, which decloaked right next to us. It popped out of nowhere. And then a box knocks us out because I have no idea why. After we get knocked out, we overhear the ship land or crash, the squad getting taken out and kind of leaving us for dead, which kind of goes against the no one gets left behind. You get no tutorial in this one, but you do get a Marine Corporal badass known as Tequila giving you orders over the radio. A pistol and flares that last forever. First mission is pretty simple. Restore power and make your way up to Tequila. Oh, and also get jump scared by the aliens. Oh, you know what would be really handy? Crouching. Oh, wait, there is no crouch button. I don't know why, and it still bothers me a little bit that this game had no crouch. I know a lot of people bitch about how there's no sprint button because they're stupid. No, because COD had it, and every game should have it, even though in Halo you're always running, and in Doom you're always running. This game should have had a crouch button. Why didn't it? You don't get a pulse rifle until you link up with Tequila. Yeah, pulse rifle. Best fucking gun in the game. Okay, no, the sniper rifle's the best. Once you get it, she sends you to link up and provide fire support for another squad down in the club. Unfortunately, they all get wiped out by the time you get there, and the aliens have somehow figured out how to trap you inside, until the corporal uses her control of the local systems to get you out. I should mention you do have a motion tracker, but honestly, I never really used this thing that much. It was more of just a way to know, oh hey, they're right around me somewhere. As I said before, the way the lighting and the color of this game is, it's kind of useless, because it'll tell you, oh hey, it's over there, and you'll look over there, and it's like, you can't see it, because the alien is dark, and the background is dark. You can just barely see movement. So really, I just didn't really use it all that much. The only good thing I got out of it was telling me they were nearby, like I just said. But at least the HUD for the Marine is way better than the rest of it. Bright white. It is bright white. It sticks out. You can see your stems, which your stems are sectional, and it's kind of strange how it is. There's 3 sections. It's regenerating for that section. If your health goes down but doesn't cross the little line, it'll recharge. And it'll do that up until you're dead. And as the Marine, you have little stem packs, which I think different difficulties shows them injecting it in different places. Or that could just, I don't know what that deal is with that. I could be completely wrong. So much easier to pay attention than the red HUD from the Predator campaign. That got really annoying. Now from the nightclub, we make our way to another squad who's still alive. They've set up a defensive perimeter, but as usual, the xenomorphs attack and overrun once we get there. Yeah, there was no helping that guy. The goal is pretty simple. Hold out until all the xenomorphs are dead. Of course, that's bullshit. The aliens overrun the position as usual. We get captured after retreating and pulled down into the sewers. Man, that thing like fucking popped out and grabbed me. That caught me completely off guard. But, you know, he does drag us to the next mission, which is pretty slick. See where Aliens Colonial Marines got one of their mission ideas from. Except this time, we come to before the alien drags us to the implantation area, and we shoot the fuck out of this punk-ass bitch. Yeah, we kept his ass. From here, we get a little acid damage, a mechanic that I thought was rather annoying, but immersive, and I do appreciate. Waste some Xenos with a double-barrel shotgun, which you don't get if you play on a harder difficulty. Make our way to the mines to link back up with Tequila. She directs us to check out the last known location of Major Van Zant's. Since, you know, we're all the way we're already way over here. Man, that thing drug us quite a ways. Back over to the refinery before the Predator blew up, which is the large building near the pyramid building that I've been talking about. For some reason, when I was writing this, I kept thinking that was over the pyramid, which I think it actually might be. No, it's not. Once inside the refinery, we figure out the aliens have set this place up as the human implantation area. You also get to encounter facehuggers for the first time. At some point, the flamethrower, which goddamn, that thing sucks so much. The flamethrower is the most worthless weapon in the game. It's the most worthless flamethrower of all time. It is more useless than the Dead Space flamethrower. I can't even think of a flamethrower more useless. I don't know how they programmed this thing, or if it was just a bit of an oversight. Basically, the way it worked, it's like they set the flamethrower up to where it fires a pinpoint laser, and if it doesn't hit that one point, it doesn't catch things on fire. Here, I'll show you this. As you can see, I'm shooting close enough to where the facehugger is, but it's not hitting it. It's not dying. It's not catching on fire. Conduction or induction should take it out. What the fuck is this? It's not programmed right. I don't understand what is happening. It is really easy to miss an enemy, especially those little fucking facehuggers. A couple times they jumped on me because the flamethrower didn't work right. I mean, look at this. What is this? This is also the first time I've seen a human brute strength a facehugger off his face. I mean, I haven't seen Romulus, but I cannot think of another entry on the Alien or the AVP franchise where a person managed to physically stop one of these things from getting on its face. I think the one I can remember, the one that comes to mind is Ripley, like, barely holding off the one. That's the one thing. I mean, those motherfuckers are strong. So that's why I call him the Black Doom guy. Because he's a fucking built tank who can take anything and carries a shotgun. Okay, no, not the second part. As expected, the Major and his team were captured and the aliens are about to implant them. We know this because we found him blobbed to the wall and about to explode. So after he tells us to kill him, we set him on fire. Okay, that was actually really painful. I probably should have shot him and then set him on fire. In our attempt to escape the refinery, we come across several eggs and, oh look, there's the matriarch blocking our escape and calling in all her children to murder us. In classic fashion, I lit that bitch up and blew her to pieces. Ain't nothing left now. Her extremely painful death sent out a telepathic shockwave, stunning all the aliens on our ass and keeping them from swarming us and killing us. Yeah, I lit that bitch up like a 4th of July. You lucky I didn't have a grill, or I would have grilled you up good. We may have escaped the refinery and fried a matriarch for the first time, but now we have the Predators to deal with. I don't think this is our character from the Predator campaign. I love how you casually see him walk away, but I have no way of knowing this for sure. Tequila tells us to get to a radio tower so she can get a fix on our position and pick us up in the gunship, but yeah, that doesn't really work out. This is also the first time we get to use my favorite weapon, the M42 scoped rifle. It highly highlights an enemy so you can see them against the background, which was so helpful, especially against facehuggers. We also encounter the acid-spitting aliens. I love how this guy just casually gets taken out. They're also the easiest enemy to take out until they get really close. They attack from a distance, and the acid is pretty easy to avoid. As we activate the tower, Tequila tells us where to go for pickup. She's like, oh yeah, we got you. Oh no, we got shot down by a predator. Arr! Plasma fire comes out of somewhere and shoots them down. On our way to go see what we can do, because we're awesome, we get contacted by a colony's former head administrator, or science lab head. I honestly forgot Katya's title, okay? I forgot the title. Deal with it. Go play the game. I'll put it here if I do find it. She asks you to activate a set of servers so she can connect to them and get some dirt on Carl Wayland. From here, she helps you make your way through the mission, opening doors, telling you the combat androids are illegal as you snipe them.
That was a combat android. They are illegal. This is typical of Carl. Forever twisting the rules.
Well, as they snipe you. These are the toughest enemies as the Marine. A headshot does nothing. It does nothing. The goggles, they do nothing. It just takes up the hit. Kind of like in episode 3 of Star Wars. Yeah, that was kind of cool. Now, honestly, just take cover and shoot them with the battle rifle. You gotta shoot off the limbs. It's not like Dead Space, but it's kind of like Dead Space. As you make your way to the pyramid and link up with some more Marines, which at first I thought were androids and shot at them, but yeah, friendly fire's not turned on. Once you link up with these survivors, they give you the smart gun. Smart gun's pretty solid. I like the smart gun in this. It was made pretty well. It's pretty slick. I do like how it can switch from between smart and manual. Making your way through the testing grounds, you lose all the Marines and now have to fight a Predator who has a shield, which is kind of weird because this is the only time you ever see a Predator have a shield. You know, it's the only real boss fight you encounter as a Marine. Well, there's one other one, but we'll get to that. Also, several aliens are like, they showed up to help/attack you at the same time. After dying several times, I figured out the best way to kill them was to use the scoped rifle and shotgun. You know, the double-barreled, magazine-fed shotgun. Once he's down, we make our way further into the pyramid and find Tequila has been implanted.
It's time to put a bullet in my head.
No. Wait. Private. If you can get the corporal to me, I might be able to remove the parasite.
Who's that? One of the colonists?
I am an ally. I can help.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, they got to her. I don't know how. They got her. She tries to get you to kill her, but yeah, Katya's like, yo, we can like take that out because this is the future, and yo, it's the future. We got that technology. Also, I know where there's a data pad so we can get a ship and get the fuck out of here. Tequila is the only follower I've had who doesn't die. Once you get her to Katya's lab, and after fighting through the research lab and several androids, you begin the process of removal. But unfortunately, that bastard Carl shuts the power off at the facility and forces you to put her in stasis. Now, we also find out that Katya's an android, or a cyborg. Pretty sure she's an android. I don't think cyborgs are in this universe. Goddamn, that's some serious damage. What the fuck happened to you? Here, she also shows us the data pad we need to get. Continuing through the facility, we reach another boss fight against a Predalien. The third one in the game, actually. Once you take that bastard out, which honestly he seemed kind of easy to take out once I figured out how to take him out. Once you take him out with grenades, you get killed 30 times. You take the elevator down to chase Carl Wayland into the tomb. Once you make your way past the statues and endless aliens and have a turn help you out and find a smart gun and lots of ammo, you get overrun about 3 times and finally get up to that elevator, you get a cutscene that shows us our character's face. And oh yeah, he's black, which I honestly had no idea. No, it doesn't really matter, but it allows me to say this is the Black Doom guy. Yeah, Wayland goes on about how, oh, the Core's old friends. Oh, you're just an asset and we don't need you anymore. And then something like shakes and you end up, he's like, oh yeah, androids, just take him out. And then you get a gun and like defend yourself and take those motherfuckers out. Now, once you make your way through the androids, you finally get to fight Carl Wayland. I think still not really sure. I think you fight Carl Wayland. I'm actually not sure if this is him or just like a super beefed up alien with, not alien. Yeah, it's an alien with a shotgun, Joe. The dude comes out with a shotgun and he has a health bar, so you know it's gonna be fucking stupid. I died like 40 times to this. Finally dropped the smart gun, grabbed the actually, I think it was a smart gun that I got him with in the end. It was kind of a bullshit fight because he corners you and fucking kills since there's one shot. That sucked. This part sucked. But I did eventually manage to wipe him out. This must have all gone down just before the Predator showed up with the wrist device. Because when we get up to the deal and grab the data pad, and then as we're turning to leave, Carl Wayland jumps us and like freaking, we get thrown down the stairs and we get a quick time event where you have to shoot him before he shoots you. Or I missed the first time. The second time, I think I didn't miss, but I fired just too late, and I kind of bugged the game to where it says I won, but I technically didn't. Yeah, once you get back outside, get out of the tomb, run for your life, holy shit, how did this guy survive? You will call down a gunship or dropship, one of the Weyland-Yutani ship, which I think there's got to be like a whole flotilla of them out there, you know? You will finally get aboard, you get put into stasis, and you find out that, oh yeah, this was also part of his operation to recover a xenomorph, recover a live subject. Yeah, Tequila's just a live subject. I'm pretty sure in the sequel she was gonna die. We get this scene. Oh my god. It's a xenomorph homeworld! Roll the clip.
We, have the data pad, sir. No complications. Yes. The live specimen is secure. Transmitting data pad contents. Now.
This has been a high-cost operation. Let us hope my predecessor's faith in it was justified. It's everything we'd hoped. Worth waiting centuries for. The coordinates to the xenomorph homeworld.
Oh my dude, you just got pranked! Bet you didn't see that one coming, huh?
Well, now that we've gone over the campaigns, let's talk about the music. Fuck this music. It pisses me off. It's not bad music. It's pretty well mixed. It's pretty well made. It's fairly properly placed. But every 5 minutes in the damn game, you hear that, like, sound that, like, this note. I'll play it here. The first time I heard that, I thought, is something happening? Am I getting attacked? Am I going to get cornered? But no, it's just completely random. This game, you know, it's not dynamic music, which I never really thought about. That's really it on music. It's kind of, you know, your classic music for Aliens and Predator. The animation, I already discussed this. I very much appreciate the quality of this game thanks to the properly put together artistry. What's kind of interesting is throughout the whole game, I think it's 3 or 4 different maps that are all kind of reused in the same way. They're all reused, but you come at them at different directions and different angles. Yes, they're the same map, but the way you go through them makes them feel different, which I thought was pretty cool. Oh yeah, I guess I should say something about the multiplayer. This game has a survivor mode, which I checked out, and it's pretty cool. There's 4 maps, I think. I think there's 2 maps that the game comes with, and then there's 2 DLC maps that I did not play or pay for, because you can still buy those for some reason. The game has a still functioning multiplayer. Granted, there's not a lot of people on the Xbox side of it. I don't know about the PlayStation side of it, but the Steam side has over 100 people from time to time, and there's a lot of different multiplayer game modes. You know, I didn't go through it, you know, I'm sure there's people out there still playing it, but there's several different game modes, and goddamn, this would have been fun to play back in the day. In fact, if you want to see it back in the day, go watch the Angry Joe Show episode about this game, if I think that's still up, but he goes over the multiplayer a lot more than I will. I'm not really a big multiplayer guy. Moving on, the AVP and Predator franchise have seen a revival in recent years, thanks to the success of the movie Prey, which I have not seen. It is out on CD, I need to get it, but I just haven't gotten it. This gives me hope that maybe this game will see a sequel, but honestly, we're more than likely going to see a reboot or just a Predator game, which a sequel for this game would be wild. That'd be really cool. I feel like the beginning of the Marine campaign would open up where they revive you, but then Marine overhears something about Tequila gonna be killed or whatever. Bust out of that class like the Black Doom guy he used. Kicks her ass and takes a ship and gets her home. For now, the game is just by itself, and it's still considered canon, I believe, in that AVP/Predator universe, but as I said before, not the Alien universe. Thank God the AVP and Alien franchises have not been overrun with nonsense. There's not been an over-influx of like cheap, crappy games like Star Wars is getting overrun with. Honestly, the ending of the Marine campaign kind of probably drove Ridley Scott a little insane, and somewhat probably inspired him to, you know, decide, okay, here's where the aliens came from in the movie Prometheus, which I thought Prometheus was okay. I just thought Alien Covenant was the most retarded thing I'd ever seen. I'm not going to go into it. Now, I get it, you know, fucking Ridley Scott, he came... Okay, actually, I don't know if he really came with it with Alien or just one of the writers and he was just the director or what. But I get it. He's like the face of the head of the Alien. I get it. It's hard seeing someone else take something you came up with or at least connected to came up with or whatever, something you're in charge of, and changing. But come on, Ridley Scott, this fucking, I know you hate the Predator franchise, but hey, I will say this, the AVP game is 10 times better than the movies, alright? In fact, this should have been the movie. I wanted to see Colonial Marines fight the future Predator. Why don't we have that? This is so cool.
You have the original Aliens vs. Predator. It's a fun concept inspired off an Easter egg in Predator 2. But then we have Aliens vs. Green Lantern, Superman vs. Predator, Batman vs. Giant Crocodile Alien, Aliens vs. Superman, Predator vs. Batman, Superman and Batman vs. Aliens and Predator, Aliens vs. Predator vs. Predator vs. Judge Dredd, Aliens vs. Tyrella, the one where Predator loses to Stars Wars, the Wildcat or something, Predator vs. the Midnight Society, and of course, the most important of all, Alien vs. Predator vs. Brown vs. Board of Education. It's a thrash metal track. AVP! Sci-fi bully! So you can safely ignore all that for the games. They take place in the future Alien setting, and Predators are there. That's it.
I suppose I should go over the other mode in the game. Survivor's not bad. It's simple. I kind of like it's a simple horde mode. I did somewhat enjoy that. I thought it was kind of interesting. Throughout the Marine campaign, you find audio logs that kind of fill in background lore information. I didn't find all of them, but the ones I did find were pretty interesting. Like, goddamn, this fucking facility got overrun with trees. Yo, Cotton's got the Kashyyyk technology in here somewhere. On the Predator campaign, it's like these little bone totem token things. And it's like, oh, collect all of these and you'll get a reward. Yeah, I didn't collect all of them. I don't care. Even though the Predator campaign was the easiest one to find, because all you got to do is hit that focus button and boom, they're there. You know, the Alien campaign, it's just little jars of jelly that I don't know. The xenomorph biology. Go ask Rono Gaming. Wait a minute, wasn't there an Alien RTS game that came out recently? Yeah, I ain't playing that. You want to know about that game? Go watch the Mandalore Gaming video on. Oh yeah, I forgot to say this game came out in 2010. Awards time. That's right, I'm doing awards now, and it's a good way to wrap up the video. The first award, coolest franchise entry. This is one of the coolest entries in the AVP franchise. It was so, like I said, it was so cool seeing how Colonial Marines went up against Predators. It was awesome. Especially in that opening scene, seeing the Predators just casually take out a Colonial Marine vessel. Always wanted to see that shit. Ever since the day I saw Jeff start the game and play it, it's like, oh, that'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. Next award, Well Woven. The story of this game somehow weaves all three campaigns solidly together along the way. Along the way, they reuse maps in all three campaigns, like I was talking about earlier. Also, there's like one time where I think they're hinting that, like, oh yeah, that's your Predator dude. Yo, thanks, bro. You broke the glass for me. I forgot the dude blows himself up with a flame grenade. That got me in the Alien campaign. That fucking surprised me. I was like, oh, I'm gonna glory kill him. Ah, shit, he blew me up. It's like, what happens? Next award, proper boss fights. This is one of the few first-person games I've ever played where, yes, the boss fights are kind of bullshit, but UI and structurally-wise, they're what I don't mind seeing in a first-person shooter boss fight. It's like, oh yeah, here's a health bar. There's several enemies running around. Deal with it. That's it for this one. Stay tuned for the next breakdown, which will feature what happens when you make a phone call in This Game's America.
need about 350. Damn it, monster! Get off my lawn! I ain't giving you no 350.
Wait. I've still got environmental control.